the mandatory 2% spend on CSR activities kicked in from April this year, what has been your experience with companies, both public and private? Do you find sustainable goals coming higher up in their priority list, in their agendas?
Okay. Very, very macro perspective questions. Two parts in what I'll answer. One is our experience and the expectations. To be very frank, sustainability is not one of the core issues that companies today are addressing adequately. For example, we have just discussed about financial inclusion. The credibility of the data has already come into debate. I think it is more like what Mr. Dubey said. It is within the principle of an organization how they want to expose the data, how they want to understand and evaluate the data of an account opening. Because account opening is like lighting a bulb. It is just not merely lighting a bulb. What do you do with that? So, quoting a data just for opening accounts is not good enough. So, one of the basic criteria happens is because there is a delusion. The delusion comes from the understanding that economy and growth are similar in nature. You have to realize these two imperatives. When you talk of economy, sustainability actually takes a backseat. Because then you're talking of primary profits. Then you're talking about primary inferences. How much does your penny get into and get out with? The problem comes when you don't align your economy with growth. This economy delusion factor exists in the whole industry as such, where we tend to believe that economy is a sort of a monster which we need to keep feeding into. But we forget the growth part of it. Because growth is more human inclusive. And when we talk of corporate governance and sustainability, which is the agenda of the day, without suitable corporate governance structure and adequately addressing sustainability as a core issue in the board, you cannot expect sustainability to be addressed down under. One thing very clear. So if the top management is really serious about the issue of sustainability, then they have to start from the policy level, not due implementation. Specifically speaking to the 2% that you brought, you cannot just say that 2% of this money will be invested in X project and you have completed your social responsibility. Sustainability and social responsibility should start from the day you start making policies. It should not be a part of the last page of your annual report. It should be a part of when you start the process. So then you inbuild sustainability within the system.
Point that you make, and I'd like to get the panel's comments on that. How many of you have a focused group or, how actively is your board focusing on sustainability issues? Are you treating it as a core business decision-making issue, or are you coming to it at the last leg?
No, as already mentioned you, that for sustainability of organization or a particular group, you have to look forward the future. If you are futuristic and you may have your business plan as per the future plans, along with the, as I already mentioned, with the technology change and all that, then only you can sustain in the market.
So you're saying that
our business plans are focusing only looking into the future, as like now what government has announced, the smart cities and projects on private investment. So, especially on the infrastructure, this is the future for the companies who are involved in infrastructure development. If they have their future plan based upon the government plans, then I think that they have a better sustainability in the market.
But do you think companies today should have a more values-driven approach rather than a profit-centric approach?
You have to have checks and balance, both. Otherwise, you can see if you don't have profitability or you look forward on the other side, you can't sustain. So both the things have to have a checks and balances.
Okay. What's been the Yes Bank experience on that front? Is sustainability, considering you're one of the few banks who comes out with a sustainability report, is sustainability a core agenda issue for you right from the beginning?
I think I can only say a resounding yes. There's nothing more to say in the sense you mentioned the report, so I've got one of them here. We did the first one, we're doing another one. But more to the point, the bank led by Mr. Rana Kapoor, Managing Director, has set up a CSR committee. So there are the maximum number of independent directors on that committee. We have a sustainability officer, chief sustainability officer. We have a CSR policy. So I would have a more optimistic viewpoint than our colleagues here on the panel that I think the companies are taking it on board. I could probably point out a few more examples. I said of the social side, we've instigated something like the Natural Capital Award. That's recognizing air, water, land as natural capitals, and we are recognizing companies that do invest in ecotourism and those who and take some examples of the awe-inspiring facts of our country. So we are doing that. We're doing things like this is very interesting. A Yes Kisan Dairy project, where when the dairy farmer brings his milk to a registered dairy processing unit which can test it, we automatically send the payment right away to the account of the Kisan. So that's why he gets immediate payment, gets a 6% savings rate, has an ATM, etc., an overdraft facility for lean. So I would say we are very much on the roll. I have a lot of examples, but I'll let the other panelists comment.
Okay. So, Mr. Dubey, transparency is perhaps most expected.